It's Ash from Super Videos back for another live stream Q&A video. This is Q&A number 186. We're going to talk about the mid-season finale for season 10 episode 8, which was called The World Before. We're also going to talk about the trailer for season B and also everything that we saw basically for the first half of season 10. There's a lot to talk about. There's a lot of crazy stuff that was there in the trailer, and there was some interesting stuff I could say in the mid-season finale that we can talk about. But with that, let me jump right into the questions. And as always, let me know if there's any issues with the stream, audio, video, anything like that. Noah Jing 75, hey Ash, hey, how are you, Nova? Glad you could join. Noah Jing 75, I agree with you, or I agree with your assessment about last night's episode being underwhelming for a mid-season finale, but what it was, what it has built up to me has me intrigued and excited for 10B. Yes, so absolutely, I was underwhelmed with the finale, with the mid-season finale, and I wasn't expecting to see like a big death or anything like that, but what I was expecting is for the story to be moved forward in a way where we didn't expect, or not even just that, but setting up some interesting stuff that we are excited to see. This mid-season finale didn't do that. They just did like a, what do you call it, standard cliffhanger. Our crew is trapped. Who's gonna die? Who's gonna make it? And I just don't like those types of cliffhangers because we've seen so many of them. The finale for season 5, same type of thing. Or was it season 5? Season 4, sorry. When they were all trapped in the cart with the, what do you call it? Cannibals, Gareth. We saw a similar thing where in the mid-season finale of last season, season 9, with Jesus' death and everyone surrounding them. So we've seen this over and over again. So I was expecting something different, something unique. And they just gave us like recycled cliffhangers. Oh, and also let's not forget season 6's finale. But you know what I'm saying? So it's like they're giving us the same sort of cliffhanger, and aside from the cliffhanger, this episode had nothing. But I totally agree with you that there are some interesting stuff being set up for the second half. But it wasn't necessarily just this episode. The entire first half was setting up things for the second half. So I don't necessarily think we can give the mid-season finale credit for setup for the second half. Next question, NovaJing75. This Cold War is going to turn into an actual war with Alpha spotting the survivors in her territory and not trapping them. Yes, absolutely. I love the transition between the Cold War to the real war. However, going back to what you said about Alpha spotting them, it would have been cool if it was like the first time. She's seen them cross her territory like multiple times now. So at this point, it's like, what you gonna do, Alpha? Just do it already if you're gonna do anything. So it's one of those things where they've done it so much that it lost its effect and its impact. So if it was the first time, I would completely agree with you. But they've done it like 2-3 times before. This season alone, they did it like twice, right? Twice or 3 times. So because of that, I think your comment would be valid if they didn't do it. But because they did it before, the comment is not as valid because we've seen it already, you know, or we've seen it before. Let's just get to it already. Mario 3, hey, what's up, Ash and Squad? How are you? Mario, glad you could join. NoahJink75, also, judging by the trailer, Alpha will be around for the fire arrows on Hilltop Attack, which will be interesting to see how Negan gets involved since he's now a part of the Whispers. Well, what makes you think she will be? Because we never saw her in those scenes. And they could have mixed up the scenes, right? They don't need to put them in order in the trailer. So was there anything in the trailer that gave it away? Because I missed it if there was. But yeah, going back to what you said, absolutely. It's going to be interesting to see what Negan does. Which side he goes on. I am doing like 4 videos related to the trailer for season 10. I don't know which order I'm going to do them in, but I will do 1 video each day and I'll talk about it in depth. I did my breakdown of the trailer, but in these separate videos, I'm going to go in more depth. One of these videos is actually related to a potential confrontation between Alpha and Gamma. And also what's related to it is Negan. And, I'm going to talk about what Negan's plan is and what I think he's doing in terms of trying to work his way into the Whisperers and gain Alpha's trust. I'll talk about that in more depth in that video, but I am doing that video, I think tomorrow, or let me think. I don't know which order I'm going to do it in, but either tomorrow or the day after, or yeah, by Friday for sure. But I'm just going to tell you guys what the videos are. So one is that one. The other is about the trap. And I'm going to make a prediction about who's going to die, who's going to survive. Because I do think there's going to be some fatalities from that scene. So that's going to be the second one. The third video is going to be about Beta and him potentially infiltrating the Alexandria safe zone. I talked about that a little bit in the trailer breakdown, but I'll talk about it more in that video. And the fourth video is about Rosita and possibly Whisperers trying to either just take her baby or kill her baby. So that's also coming up as well. So from these four, I'm doing one each day for this week. And then after that, going forward, I'll jump into our off-season schedule, which has the ranking, the Throwback Thursday ranking videos. So we'll jump into those and I'll do more live gameplays of Telltale's The Walking Dead starting next week. NoahJick75, I really hope that Jerry doesn't die, and if he doesn't die getting eaten by walkers, the trailer was a dead giveaway. Absolutely, and I'll talk about that in my video and point those out, but yeah, either they're really fooling us or someone dropped a bomb. Whoever made the trailer, they're not gonna notice this, it'll be a quick shot. Little did they know that, some fans like me, we basically dig deep. We take screenshots and we take out every little thing out of the trailer. So, yeah, either they dropped a bomb or they're fooling us. I think they're probably not fooling us and someone messed up. NomadJing75, the only people I think are in danger of dying in that cave are Connie, Kelly, and Jerry. Absolutely. The others, Carol, Daryl, and Aaron, we've seen them in the trailer in other parts, so they make it. The only people we didn't see are Connie, Magna, Kelly, and Jerry. So from those four, anyone can get it. I'll talk more about who I think is gonna die, but Jerry is definitely at the top of my list there. Mario 3, just to say something, I looked into TWD3 cast and they casted Julia Ormond. Dude, what? I don't know who that is. Julia. I've seen the trailer. I think I know who you're talking about, but I don't remember seeing that person in any other show or movie or anything. Let me know where you know her from, because I'm probably forgetting, or I haven't watched whatever she was in. But let me just check who it is just to make sure we're talking about the same person. Yeah. Yeah, I don't recognize anything she's in, and I don't recognize her face, but yeah, I know who you're talking about now. Mario 3, she will play Elizabeth, a charismatic leader of a large, sophisticated, and formidable force. We all know that's probably the, what do you call it, Omaha Monument. We talked about what that means in the other videos, so you can go and check it out. But she's basically the leader of the community that the TWD3 world is in. What's the actual title again? World Beyond. That's the actual title of the third series. Noah Ching 75, Season 10A is the paranoia of the survivors, and 10B will be where all the action begins. It seems like it. But with that said, I doubt that they'll make the entire season or second half of the season all out, or the, not all out war, the Whisper War. They could, but I doubt it. I think they'll probably go to like episode maybe 12 or 13, and then the last couple episodes are gonna be related to the next story arc. If anything, knowing Angela Kang's style, she might push it till episode 15. She might end the Whispers like a big bang in episode 15, and then episode 16 is gonna be close to what they did with, or it's gonna be similar to what they did last season. That's gonna push us to a new story, not a story, new direction in the story. And they might do the Commonwealth story or the beginning of the Commonwealth story in the finale. Giuseppe De Rosa, what's up? How are you? Giuseppe, glad you could join. How late am I? Only like 15 minutes. You're not too late. Thank you for joining. Noaching 75, 1009 can be a great rebound if they do have someone from the group trapped in the cave die. Otherwise, then Alpha's trap would have been meaningless. Someone needs to die in that cave for the impact. Yeah, absolutely. And I've been thinking about how they could have made that trap scene better. And I think I've found one way they could have made it better. What they could have done is, you know how Daryl is the last one in? They could have had Daryl, fall, but no one's there. You know, maybe it'll take him longer to fall down. When he falls down, no one's there, but he's trapped by all the walkers, and he finds a way out of that spot, but he's still in the cave. And then he sees like one of them, maybe Connie or someone, or maybe Magna or someone. And then they start talking, and then they look around, and they slowly find other people around. And maybe when there's like two people left, maybe Carol and Jerry, we don't see, or there's like two people that haven't been found. They're just looking, and then everyone looks in a direction, and someone in a far distance is injured, or like they're on the ground, they're hurt, something like that, and someone's looking over their shoulder or looking over them, and that's where you end it. That would have been a more interesting end, because then you're like, okay, so who was it? What happened? You know, within that span of time where Daryl was basically before he fell down, what happened? And then when you come back, you could pick up from when everyone else goes in and when they disappear, and you can like show what happens then. And you know, after like the intro, you could actually like go back to where we were in the finale, something like that. That might have made it a bit more interesting. Again, it would have been kind of like a cliffhanger, but I think that would have been a little bit more fleshed out than just boom, they're all there, they fell, they're trapped. NoahJinx75, whenever The Walking Dead channel or Skybound posts the trailer, there's a whisper watching the fire arrows on Hilltop, and it looks like Alpha. Black clothing and walker mask with blonde hair. Oh, I think I know which shot you're talking about. Let me try to open it. And maybe I'm gonna see if I can bring it on top of the chat or screen here, so you guys can see it as well. Was that Alpha though? I'm not sure if that was Alpha. Let me just try to find that scene that I think you're talking about. Okay, let me see, where was it? Okay. I don't even know if I can, let me see. let's do it this way. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up the picture I think you're talking about, and then you can let me know whether that's what you're talking about. Is that alpha though? I don't know if that's alpha, but let me bring it up first. Is that the picture you're talking about here? So is that it kind of does look like alpha now that I look at it. If that's the case, then yeah, you're right. She's probably there during the attack, and she wasn't in the comics, so that's interesting. But let me know. I removed it now, but let me know if that's the picture you're talking about. Giuseppe De Rosa, do you think the Whisperers will be gone in season 11? I think so. We might see some solo Whispers, like just survivors, basically. Not Whispers that are still Whispers, you know what I mean? We might see a few of them, but Whispers who are actually trying to kill him, I don't think we'll see more of them after season 10. Noah Jinx 75, well, what happened? Noah Jinx 75, Q&A, what do you think of the shot of Alpha with the blood all over her? She looks like she got beat up, judging by the blood from her nose. However, I don't see Negan being the one who did it. No, I think, and I'll talk about that in the video that's coming up, but I think most likely that's Alpha going head to head with Gamma. She might have found out that Gamma is the mole, or she's basically ratting her out. So I think that's when she attacks Alpha, or Alpha attacks her, and they get into it a little bit, and I think that's going to end with Gamma's death. Noah Jinx 75, an Easter egg I just found out about has to do with Dante being rescued in the flashback. He threw his mask in a body of water. Maybe that's the mask Judith found in Tunnel 1. No, I thought so too, but no, because Judith, when she found the mask, it was close to Oceanside. And Dante was close to Alexandria, I think, when that happened. So it would be a cool Easter egg if it was, but I don't think it was. However, that scene, Judith finding the mask, does, to me, hint that we might have another Whisper spy on our hands at Oceanside. And I think there's only one character, and I did a video on this already, I talked about it in depth, but there's only one person who fits the characteristics of someone who might be another Whisper spy, and that's Jules, the girl that's getting close to Luke. So that's very, very interesting. But yeah, I don't think that was Dante's mask. Mario 3, this answers A and B stuff because she's a leader of hilltop people or helicopter people. A and B are types of soldiers since she's forming force. We still don't know what the A and B mean. We don't know if the A and B is just something that the CRM organization does, or if it's something that all of the three main organizations abide by. We don't know that for sure. But yeah, one possibility is A is soldier and B is some other kind of person or someone else or someone who can contribute to the community in some other way. Maybe if you kind of go that not conspiracy, but the other theory route where they're saying B is someone who they're doing experiments on, maybe that's that as well. But I doubt it. I don't think that it has anything to do with them doing experiments. Giuseppe De Rosa, I was starting to like Siddiq when he died, or then he died. Yeah, they always do this. They make you like someone and then they kill him off. Noah Jinx 75 Q&A, do you believe that Gamma intentionally deceived the survivors? I don't think she did, judging by the trailer for the second half. Yeah, before the trailer, I thought so, but watching the trailer, I think there's a lot of different hints in the trailer, which I talked about in my breakdown, that lead me to think that Gamma is probably unaware, or Alpha found out before it was too late. and relocated the herd. Noah Jake 75. Even if Dante somehow escaped Alexandria after being discovered, would Alpha kept her word regarding his place in the Whispers? I think not. Too easy for Alpha to do that. No, if Dante ran away and went back to the Whispers and said, my cover is blown, Dante would have killed him on the spot. Because at that point, Dante to the Whispers is the liability, right? And they know who he is. So I think at that point, Alpha would have just killed Dante right away. Daily Detonation. Hey Ash, what happened? Hey Ash, how's things, man? I've recently moved from UK to Toronto for a 3-year computer programming course. I'm settling in well right now. What do you think about 1008 overall? Thanks. Glad you could join Daily Detonation. Welcome to Toronto. I'm in Canada too, so I guess welcome to Canada in general, but I'm also a computer science major, so we have that in common too. But I hope everything is going well with the move and everything. What did I think about 1008? I did my review with my reaction already, but overall, I would say there are things that I absolutely enjoyed in 1008, but I thought overall it was a little underwhelming for a mid-season finale, and it felt like recycled material a little bit, and it seemed like they were just chasing their own tail at some point. So because of that, I think it was good when it could have been great. And if I look at it from a more or from a less optimistic perspective, I could say it was okay when it could have been good or great. Noaching 75. Alpha being involved in the Whisperer War will be interesting to see. I wonder if she will actually do anything of significance since she would have outlasted her comic counterpart. Yeah, I think it would be very, very interesting to see her, outlast her comic counterpart. But at the same time, that thing alone, her not being able to get to the war, was what shocked us or surprised us. So if they truly want to have that same feeling for non-comic readers who watch the TV show, they're going to keep the same. But there's a chance that they're going to do a bit of both, where she does outlive her comic counterpart, but not for too long. Daily Detonation, actually, what do you think about the first half of Season 10 as a whole? Personally, I really enjoyed it. Great moments and good pacing too. I would say 10A was good. It definitely had a lot of great stories, blended story, but at the same time, I still enjoyed Season 9 a lot better, even the first half. And the reason why that is because there were more things going on than just one part of the story. First half of Season 10, if you really think about it at a very ground level, there's only 2 pieces of story that are there. The Whispers threat and everything related to the Whispers, and the introduction of the Commonwealth, if you want to look at it that way. But in the first half of Season 9, we had the Rick stuff going on. We had the Savior revenge story going on. We had the bridge story going on. Later on in the second half, we had the Whisper stuff going on. We also had the New Beginning story going on at the beginning of the season. So there were a lot of things going on. But in Season 10's first half, it seems like this story is more minimalistic. So because of that, I would say I have enjoyed Season 10, but not as much as Season 9. Daily Detonation, already enjoying the Whisper War much more compared to All Out War. Absolutely, in the TV show, yeah. And I'm also enjoying the Whispers War, even though we haven't really got into the war, but I've enjoyed the war way more than the comics Whisper War. So that's great as well. Mario 3, 1008 was the for me, worst episode for the first half. I would have to agree with you on that. Yes. And worse is a strong word. I would say it's my least favorite episode of the first half. Noah Jink 75, I like the first half of Season 10 because I felt wrapped into our characters' minds of being paranoid about the whispers and the turmoil in the communities, which is what Alpha wants to happen. Yeah, from that perspective, like I said, there's the Cold War aspect of the first half, which is connected to the whisper stuff, which I absolutely enjoyed. But that was pretty much it, aside from the Commonwealth kind of tease. So the first half of the season had minimal story if you really think about it. Giuseppe De Rosa, that was the worst mid-season finale ever. I would have to go back to look at what the other mid-season finales were, but I disagree with you on that. As disappointing as this mid-season finale was, I think that there were other worse mid-season finales. But yeah, and here's the thing. We don't need to see a death for a mid-season finale to look good, to be good, to feel like it's great. So that's not the only criteria that we have for saying whether a mid-season finale is good or not. Mario 3, I doubt Kirkman would ever go the Cure route with The Walking Dead. Hell no. Yeah, he confirmed himself, or he not confirmed, he said flat out himself, he's not going near that. Now, if The Walking Dead TV show does it, that doesn't mean that Kirkman agrees with it, because they could do things that Kirkman doesn't agree with. So, that's that. But in the comics, that's why we didn't get it, because Kirkman didn't want to go near that. Mario 3, so no experiments. Are you talking about A and B? Or the A and B categorization for the CRM? Yeah, I don't think it's related to doing experiments. It could, but I would say it's like I'm at a 10 to 15% chance of that happening, or the A and B categorization having something to do with experiments. No, Jinx 75, I'll say that 1008 was a little below average, but don't think that it's the worst. I have to really think about and compare it to all of the other mid-season finales. Yeah, same here. I would have to first see what the other mid-season finales were and compare them. That could be one of the ranking videos for Throwback Thursday that we do. The first thing I want to do is I want to rank the first half of the season, of season 10, in order from my favorite to my least favorite. So that'll be first. I'll do that first. And then I probably will do my favorite scenes from the first half or something like that. And then I might do the, rating the mid-season finales. And then after that, that's when I might ask for your guys' input and your suggestions. Epic Zombie Killer Kiona Hayash, I like the mid-season finale, but I don't like how Carol put Daryl and the others in danger. Yeah, Carol's been annoying me a little bit. If you don't know, I think it was last season after Rick left, where I kind of... how would I say this? I finally in my head I'm like, yeah, I'm gonna go ahead with admitting Carol is my favorite character after Rick. But with the stuff she's been pulling recently this season, she's quickly moving down the list, and others are taking her place. For some reason, the writers want us to get frustrated with Carol for some reason. I have no idea why. Noah Jinx 75, if Alpha is a part of the attack on Hilltop with the fire arrows, is Beta going to attack Alexandria while Alpha is at Hilltop? Absolutely. I think that's pretty much what they're doing and where they're going with the Whispers War. Very good strategy to launch separate attacks on the communities. Yeah, if if you are right and that was Alpha during the hilltop attack, then I 100% agree with you. That's where they're going with it. And from the Whisperer's perspective, very good strategy. Animated Alex late. Yeah, you're like a little bit late, but we might make this a little bit longer, this Q&A, so we still have a little bit of time before we end it here. Or we end the stream. King Can 214. Is it just 10:08 was kind of worst episode of the season? Is it just me, or 10:08 was kind of the worst episode of the season? No, it's not just you. I wouldn't say worst, like I said. It's my least favorite of the first half of the season, or this season, because we haven't seen the second half yet. Giuseppe De Rosa, we got all the mods in this chat. Yeah, it's pretty cool. We have like 5 mods. King Can, Giuseppe, Mario, and Nova Jinx. Animated Alex, Negan looked like he was getting when his shirt was off. That wasn't it. He was probably taking a shower or something, but like I said in my trailer breakdown, I think that scene, what it's supposed to be is, it's supposed to show you that Negan is conflicted inside about whether to, follow his guts and help the group, or play it safe and help and join the Whisperers. Mario 3, Season 9, Episodes 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 were best episodes of the whole Walking Dead franchise. Season 9 episodes, I disagree with you. I think there are tons of episodes better than all of those episodes that you have. 5, I think you're right, it's one of the best. It had to be because it was Rick's final episode. But the others, I don't necessarily agree with you on those. Giuseppe De Rosa, Season 4 and 5 is Walking Dead in the prime. Yeah, Season 4 and 5 was... Actually, I would say mid-Season 5 is when Walking Dead was at the top. And then it slowly went down after that. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A. Hey Ash, I understand why Gabriel did what he did. He was just avenging Sadiq and Cheryl. Yeah, I don't blame him. I just think that Michonne may have a few words with or he might need to have a few words with them when she comes back, if she comes back. Noah Jinx 75, 10:08 is not my cup of tea, but I can rewatch it again compared to previous episodes. The transition from Cold War to the Whisperer War was a good way to get people excited for the actual war. Yeah, absolutely. But like I said, they could have done it a little bit differently, like the ending specifically. And other than the ending, this episode didn't have much. They could have had this episode actually have more substance to it. Animated Alex, I'm sure people are going to complain. What happened? Let me go back. Animated Alex, I'm sure people are going to complain about the Dante storyline being too quick, but I feel like it's better to get it over with and not drag it out unless they were redeeming him like Dwight. I 100% agree with you. However, I do think everything they did with Dante, I'm okay with. The only thing is they needed to address some of the plot holes, some more of the plot holes. They did address some of them in the flashbacks, but not all of them. If they address all of them, I'll be supportive of that storyline, 100%. Animated Alex, Gabriel pulled the Season 5 Rick on Dante, lol. Yeah, he was savage. I mean, like I said in my reaction, Negan should be glad that he didn't see this side of Gabriel. Animated Alex, Gabriel pulled a... Oh, I read that one. Animated Alex, like Rick did with Gareth, yes, absolutely. The Savage Rick. Noah Jinx 75, Alden has taken much of comic Dante's story, so TV Dante dying and being a spy for the Whisperers was probably the biggest twist that stayed away from the comics. Yes, it was a big twist, but there were some plot holes, and also it came at the big cost, killing Sadiq. for who Sadiq was, how he was introduced. I think that's a big cost for a shock that they could have had in some other way. Giuseppe De Rosa, Gabriel became a savage. Yes, he did. Animated Alex, could the new show be the origin story to the CRM? No, they're separate. Go check out my other video where I talk about the connections to the CRM, but the community in TWD3 or World Beyond, which is the third spin-off series for The Walking Dead, that community is separate than the CRM. And Commonwealth is also separate. So we have three big organizations: Commonwealth, CRM, and the community that we have in World Beyond. Go check out my other video if you haven't checked it out, because I go in depth in that video. Mario 3, Animated Alex, it is the origin. I disagree. I mean, origin means that they were the first, right? They are the one that started CRM or began CRM. I don't think that's accurate. I think it's, if anything, CRM is the main one. And then the others came after it. Again, these are completely speculative, but I'm leaning more towards it not being the origin. Mario 3, these people are bound to each other through 10 years. You mean the three organizations? I think there's a very good possibility that that's not the case. That one came first, and then they basically built the other ones. I don't think anyone in this apocalyptic world could be disorganized to set up something this big all together. I think it came incrementally. What's going on with my camera? Let me see. There we go. Noah Jink 75. There is a theory that Alpha could die in 10:15, which would mark the same episode that she killed the Pike victims in 9:15. That's a possibility. If the Whisper War is gonna take the majority of the second half, then I think that's exactly what they're doing. At this point, I'm 60% sure or 60% confident that Whisper War is gonna end around episode 13 or 12, but I could be wrong about that. Because think about it. Episode 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. That's 5 episodes, right? In these 5 episodes, they could easily do the Whisper War. There wasn't too much in the Whisper War. They could add in more stuff, yes, but I think they're gonna dedicate at least 2 episodes to the Commonwealth story, building it up. We do know that they have cast the character Princess from the comics, and she comes in after the Whisper War is over, unless they remix it. But if that happens, then that means that the Whisper War is definitely gonna end, and then we're gonna have a few episodes spill over. What I mean by that is a few episodes in the second half of season 10 is not going to be the Whisper War. And also, when the news came that Princess was cast, it was like a couple months, like 2 months or 2 months ago. And that was before they were deep into the second half. So that's another thing to keep in mind. Giuseppe De Rosa, Giuseppe De Rosa, whatever happened to the spin the wheel and whoever gets it gets to choose the next video? Suggested videos, we could do some suggested videos in the next couple of streams. I'm not going to start it yet because I do want to get through some of the videos that I want to do for the trailer that came out. And I am doing the, what do you call it? Telltale The Walking Dead gameplays. They're going to come back. We're also doing Throwback Thursday ranking videos. So maybe for the first few weeks, the next few weeks, we won't do the suggested videos, but I will bring it back at some point during the break. NoahJinx75. Carol is still my favorite character, but I'm not blinded by my opinion of her and don't like what she's been doing. Someone is going to die in that cave because of her chasing after Alpha. Absolutely. I hope that's the thing that gets Carol back into, or back to being just normal. I don't want her to just be like, I don't want to kill again. But at the same time, I don't want her to go on these rogue missions. Epic Zombie Killer, like, yeah, that was clearly a trap. I knew it as soon as Alpha came out. Yeah, and Carol is smarter than that. She should know. Being this deep into the apocalypse, seeing the stuff Carol has seen, meeting the people Carol has met, she should have seen that from a mile away. King Ken 214, No Way Out was so good. It absolutely was. I think in the TV universe, the top 3 storylines so far for me are No Way Out, the Cannibals, or No Way Out, the Whisperers story, not the Whisperers War yet, but the Whisperers introduction and the Cold War field to the Whisperers War. And then third would be the Terminus story. Those are my top 3 in the TV show. Giuseppe De Rosa, what if Ash was on Talking Dead? Well, we have our own Talking Dead. We don't need Talking Dead. All we need is just a cast member to show up, and we'll be Talking Dead. Epic Zombie Killer, hey Ash, my opinion, Dante deserved to die. Yes, he did. NoahJinx75, also with the Whispers attacking the communities at night, it adds to the creepy and spooky factor of the Whispers. It also gives the Whispers an advantage using the dark atmosphere. Absolutely. And when they attack, let's say during No Way Out, there was a lot of walkers that came in. Similar type of story is happening here. And also there's the Whispers shooting the arrows at them. But guess what's going to happen, or guess what happened in No Way Out? They went into a house, closed it off, and they were safe for a little bit. But now Whispers can just open the doors for the walkers. And there's no getting away from it. There's no hiding anymore. You know what I mean? So that also adds to the creepiness. Or they could barricade themselves, or put fences, or things like that. But the Whispers could sabotage those and get the walkers inside. Or over the obstacles that the survivors might put up. Where were we? King Kansu 14, which Walking Dead character do you think you look like? Mine is Morgan's son. I've gotten Sadiq tons of time, but I don't see it. I don't think I look like anyone on The Walking Dead, honestly. NoahJinx75, people are saying that Negan taking his shirt off because Alpha is going to whip him. LOL. She usually just whips them on the arm and just has them roll up their sleeves. Not that, LOL. Yeah, I don't think that's what that is. King Ken 214, people are saying Alpha will die 9/16. I believe it, but it's so dumb. I think at the latest it'll be episode 15. At the latest, I think. If it's 16, I mean, it is what it is, but there is this thing that concerns me about that, and that's that they're gonna drag out the story. So I hope they don't do that. No, 75. I hope that Gamma gets to see her nephew at least once before she dies, because I think she will be killed by either Alpha or Beta. Most likely Alpha, though. Yeah, I think Alpha's gonna kill her, and I don't think she'll see her nephew before. It's pretty sad, but I don't think she will. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A hash. Do you feel, or how do you feel about the title of the third show being World Beyond? I like it. I actually really like that title. I'm glad they didn't do something like Fear the Walking Dead, because that's like a generic kind of, or more or less a generic title for Walking Dead. So I'm glad that they added an extra like Walking Dead World Beyond. So I'm glad they did that, and it fits the story, the intent of the story. I talked about that in the other trailer breakdown that I did. But I think it makes sense, the title. Giuseppe De Rosa, will Rick grow out his hair again? Probably in the movies. Most likely. Animated Alex, Dale's RV is seen in the promo. Looks like they gave it a use. LOL. I don't think in the show it's supposed to be Dale's RV, but I think it might be. King Ken 214, and I think TWD3 is only on Amazon Prime, not I'm currently right. I have no idea about that. I think he'll definitely be on AMC, but I don't know what other platforms it'll be on. Noah Jink 75. I wonder if Negan rats out Gamma to Alpha to gain trust with Alpha, and then when he gets closer to her, he kills her. That would be a good way for him to get close to Alpha to do so. I partially agree with you on that, and I'll talk about that in my video more, but one not plot hole, but one issue with that is Negan is already close to Alpha. He could just take Alpha down right there. But I think the reason why he doesn't is because he's trying to assess the situation. He knows if he just kills Alpha, Beta's going to show up and be in charge. Gamma is going to show up after. And he doesn't really know about what Gamma's doing, I'm assuming, for now. So, because of that, Negan understands. He's smart enough to know that he has to be calculated. He has to assess things. And I think, partially I agree with you, he's going to use that to, or the Gamma thing, rat her out to gain Alpha's trust. But I think what he's going to really do is he's going to try to become Alpha's second in command, and push Beta out of the story. And then he's going to low-key kill Beta, or try to kill Beta, and then he'll be set. He'll find the right time to put Alpha down to kill her, and then basically make sure that no other Whisperer does anything crazy, and then basically tell them that he's in charge, he's Alpha now, follow me. And then he'll be telling everyone to surrender. He'll bring the head to, or bring Alpha, I don't want to give too much away from the comics, but he'll basically show the survivors that he means business, that he's not full of BS. He'll show them that he killed Alpha, and he'll show them, these are the Whisperers, they follow me now, and I've told them all to surrender. They all surrender, and then bam, that's it. I think that's probably where they're going with Negan, or what Negan is planning to do. King Ken 214, and will you start to game again? Yes, we will. Starting next week, I will do two days of the week. I will do gameplay videos. I'll let you guys know ahead of time. Maybe at the end of this week, I'll let you know which days. But it probably won't be Thursdays, because Thursdays we do the what do you call it? Throwback Thursday videos. So probably not Thursday, but We might do like, I don't know, maybe Saturday. Actually, no, not Saturday. Maybe, I don't know, Sunday. Sunday, I don't know. I'll think about it because I want to make sure that it fits my schedule and my other videos that I'm going to plan to do and stuff like that. But we will do at least, I would say, 2 days of the week for gameplays. And it's Telltale's The Walking Dead right now. But when Last of Us 2 comes out, we'll start doing that. Mario 3, we don't know who started CRM. I think TWD3 and Rick Movies will explore more in depth with that. Absolutely. And like I said before, we don't even know if CRM came first or World Beyond came first, like in terms of the organization or the community. But yeah, my camera is about to die. Let me see, we've been going for 55 minutes. We still have tons of questions though. So I'm going to pause it here for a little bit, change my battery to my camera, and I'll be right back. So stick around, I'll be right back. We'll go for another maybe 15 to 20 minutes after that. So stick around, I'll be right back. All right, we should be good now. So we'll go for another maybe 15 minutes and then we'll end the stream. Animated Alex, not Giuseppe, I prefer his short hair, but I wanted his man bush back. Yeah, I think there is a direct relationship between how savage Rick is and how long his beard is. So if we want to see savage Rick, we should expect his beard to be growing long. Animated Alex, I like that Aaron showed his license plate from season 5. Cool callback. Yes, but I forgot to mention that in my review, but that was too long. Did we really need that scene to be that long? Did we really need that scene in general? But yeah, it was a cool callback, but they wasted that time frame. They could have done something else. They could have given us something else. Animated Alex, Eugene, and Rosita finally. I mean, there's people who don't like it or are not too thrilled about that. Mario 3 Alpha has to die before 15 for sure because the remaining of the season has to be Beta unleashing Horde and his death at the end. Yeah, my prediction, and I could be totally wrong, but my prediction is that Alpha dies in episode 13, Beta dies in episode 14, episode 15, the Whispers are no more, we'll transition into the Commonwealth story, or they'll like kind of have a scenario where everything seems chill and calm, and then episode 16 is when we're gonna see the Commonwealth or more Commonwealth teases. So episode 14 or 13, 14, 15 is gonna be basically just wrapping up the Whispers arc, Whisper War, and then episode 16 is gonna be pushing us towards the new story arc, which is the Commonwealth. Noah Jink 75 Q&A, do you think Michonne will come back with the weapons like she promised? I think she will, because with a threat like the Whispers, it would be out of character for her to leave everyone. Yeah, I hope she comes back. If she doesn't, this is the most underwhelming exit of any character on The Walking Dead. Animated Alex, are you still working on your books, Ash? The books are on pause right now. I'm probably not going to go back to it for a little bit. I might later on, but they're just at a halt right now. And the reason being that I don't necessarily know how I want to roll it out. The plan that I had didn't work as much as I wanted it to. So because of that, I'm kind of pushing that in the background a little bit and then revisiting it later on. But in the far future, not in the near future. Planet Earth. Do you get a feel for the Whisperers? I feel like they have no redeeming values other than they can kill, cook wild animals underground. I feel like Alpha and Beta are only attract mentally ill survivors. I sort of agree with you. I think there are Whisperer survivors that are just trying to survive. There's probably not too many of them, but there's some of them. That one Whisperer that gave Negan his food, classic example of a Whisperer who could redeem himself. But others, no, not really. For example, the Whisperer that killed Jesus. For example, and I know he died. I'm just saying people like that. For example, the Whisperer that they imprisoned, and then he died. Dante. People like that. I don't think they can redeem themselves. But there are some that can. Animated Alex, Judith is thinking about the future just like her daddy Grimes. Absolutely. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A hash. I have a high potential for The Walking Dead, The World Beyond. Yeah, everything we've seen so far, it's promising. But so is Fear the Walking Dead. Let's not forget. Giuseppe De Rosa asks, you should grow out your beard. I'm trying. I don't want it to be super long, but I am trying to grow it out a little bit longer. But unlike Rick, I don't become more savage the more I grow my beard. I just look like I have a longer beard. That's the only thing it does. Nova Jinx 75. Also, what else I liked about 1008 were the future references with Judith documenting everything. That's a nice little nod to the comics in a way that sets up what's to come in the future of The Walking Dead. Yeah, I like that too. Giuseppe De Rosa, other than Negan, which villain has the best chance of being redeemed? Or had the best chance? In the comics, Pamela Milton did. Who else? Gamma does. Who else? And they're not really villains, some of these, but they're just villainous characters. Merle. But yeah, I can't think of more right now. Epic Zombie Killer Q&A hash at the end of the trailer for the second half. They showed Alpha covered in blood. Do you think that is her death scene? I don't. I think that's just the scene where Gamma and Alpha get into it and Alpha ends up killing Gamma. That's what I think that is. They wouldn't show it in the trailer if it was her death scene. Unless they're really stupid. But then again, they did kind of show Jerry's death in the trailer, so I don't know. I don't know if I should give them credit at this point. Animated Alex Giuseppe Governor? LOL, absolutely not. He did not have redeeming qualities. James Fry, what happened? Or what weapons do you think Virgil is going to give Michonne? That's a great question. I don't know. Maybe some sort of like a, not a bomb, but some sort of like a explosive or something like that. Explosive would make sense because someone just needs to get it in place and then they could remotely blow it up, killing all the walkers. Something like that, probably. I don't think it's like a machine gun, because that's not going to take up a megahertz. And even if it does, that's going to attract just the same amount of herd from surrounding areas. But then so does an explosion. But yeah, actually, yeah, the explosion will probably attract more of them. But I think with the machine gun, I don't think it has the same impact. Like, you can't kill as many. But I think explosive, that might be where they're going with it. Or that might be what Virgil was referring to. A weapon like that. No Magic 75, the only villain I can see being redeemed is that Randall from season 2. The governor was so sick and twisted, just like Alpha is. He was too far gone and deserved a worse death than what he got. Absolutely agree with you. I don't know about the Randall stuff. I don't think he could have been redeemed, because I think if he was, we couldn't trust him. Let me see what that is. I think he would have turned out to do something fishy later on. I don't think he necessarily would follow his promise or follow with his promise. There's something on the screen here. I don't know what it is. Okay, that's not the screen. That's just my screen here. Anyway, so we're 1 hour 5 minutes in. So I'm gonna go through the last few questions here, and then we'll end it. And I'll run through these a little quickly. So the last question or the last comment will be this one, and then I won't even go past that because we do need to end it here. Yeah, let's go here since this just came out. So we'll go all the way to here only. Animated Alex Xavier Jet could be redeemed. LOL, just kidding. No, he could not. He could not. But Gavin could have. Noah Jing 75. The only reason why I think that Negan can rat out Gamma is because he can judge them by how he looks at her. Negan saw this with Dwight back in season 8. The only reason why I think Negan can rat out Gamma is because he can judge them by how he looks at her. I don't know what you mean by that. You might have to be a little more specific about that. I don't know what you mean exactly. Epic Zombie Killer, Q&A, hey Ash, I'm worried about Jerry, especially after seeing the trailer for the second half of the season 10, when he was in that hole and he fell. Yeah, and like I said before, either they're really dumb and they gave it out, or they're fooling us. Noah Jig 75, however, Negan killing Alpha would be similar to how Eugene betrayed him in season 8 finale, except this time Negan would be successful in killing Alpha. Yeah, I do see the similarity. But I don't think they're gonna play with that similarity or show that similarity. I think the similarity is there, but I don't think they're gonna focus on it. Noah Jig 75, if Jerry survives 1009, I'll be surprised because he would either have to be to lose his foot, or he's wearing armor that is protecting his foot from being bitten by walkers. Yeah, I mean, we don't know what was in that hole. That's another thing. Giuseppe De Rosa, other than the PT channel, you're the only Walking Dead YouTuber who does live streams consistently. I don't know PT channel. I don't watch his stuff. It's not just my cup of tea because he does spoilers, I think. But yeah, I mean, I enjoy the consistent live streams, so that's why I do it. I'm glad you guys enjoyed as well. That's why I've been able to continue. Noah Jing 75, the PT channel does spoilers on Walking Dead, but he gives a stern warning on his videos. However, I can't say the name for some of the people who go to channels to purposely spoil episodes for people. Yeah, there's definitely channels who do that, for sure. But I respect channels that give out a spoiler warning and don't spoil it in their titles or in their thumbnails. Noah Jing 75, the Whisperer that gave Negan some pork was killed by Beta for just that reason. Yeah, he did. I remember that. However, did he think that the Whisperer would tell Alpha that Beta left Negan to die? Would Alpha have cared, though? I think that Whisperer was damaged good for Beta, so he's like, I need to sacrifice someone to kill Negan, or to get Negan killed. Might as well go for this guy. I don't like him anyway. I think that's the rationale that Beta went through. Animated Alex, how come nobody's worrying about Negan? What do you mean? Negan's safe. I mean, there's a chance they might kill Negan, but it would be a huge deal if they do. I don't think they're going to kill Negan this half. Giuseppe De Rosa, what if Gareth joined the survivors? He doesn't have redeeming qualities. Let's be honest. Planet Earth, Jerry better not die or I will legit flip my flapjacks. I love Jerry's character. Yes, I do as well, but I'm afraid to say that he probably won't make it after 10:09. Giuseppe De Rosa, Alpha without her herd, she's screwed. Absolutely. Without her herd, Alpha is nothing. She doesn't have any threat, or she doesn't pose any threat. Giuseppe De Rosa, I haven't seen a gun in a while. Yeah, that's true. From season 9 forward, we've barely seen any guns, and I think it makes sense. It's realistic. It fits because they're like 10 years in. You're not gonna see weapons that much, or ammo for that matter. Animated Alex. Then again, Michonne and Ezekiel didn't happen, so Eugene and Rosita could be fake as well. Absolutely. Don't get me started on the Michonne Ezekiel thing. That was a cheap stunt to put in the trailer to have people like, oh, what's going on there? And then it was nothing, really. They could be doing the same thing. James Fry, how do you think Michonne is going to leave? What do you think her exit is going to be? Death or going to look for Rick? I'm leaning more towards her leaving to find Rick. I think she gets a clue that Rick is alive, and she goes looking for Rick. I don't think she's gonna die. Noah Jinx 75, another big death could be who gets Father Gabriel's comic death. I don't know if they're doing that, but if they are doing that, and the reason I say that is because they had a scene similar to that during All Out War, where someone died the same way. So why would they need to do it? Because they showed us. That was only cool visually. But if they give it to someone, I don't know who it could be. It could be Father Gabriel, maybe. Still, I mean, he could get his death again. Or they could give it to someone from Magna's group, or just a random person. Animated Alex, Giuseppe Carroll had a gun to use on Alpha. Yeah, that was... But it was... she didn't have too much ammo for that gun. So last 3 comments, because these are or 2 comments. These are the last ones, so I'll do it anyway. Animated Alex, no, I meant as in the character's concern. I meant as in the character's concern. I don't know what that means. I don't know what you mean by that. Giuseppe Rosa, the war drained them probably. Yeah, the all-out war, yeah. Anyway, Alex, about Negan being the Whisperer, with the Whispers. Oh, the characters aren't concerned about Negan? I mean, they have bigger things to worry about. And as far as they can tell, Negan doesn't pose any threat to them right now. So, because of that, no one really cares. Alright, so that's pretty much the end of the stream. We've been going for like an hour, 15 minutes. Hope you guys enjoyed this stream. Thanks everyone for joining and asking questions and supporting the channel. I hope you guys enjoyed. I will see you guys this Friday for our next stream. And then at that point, I'll tell you guys about what our schedule is going to look like. There is a schedule already for the off season, but I'm going to talk about that a little bit more in detail during our Friday stream. But this week, stay tuned for 4 videos that I'm going to do, which is related to the trailer for Season 10. Other than that, if there's any big news or anything like that, I'll do videos, but I don't think I'll do too many other videos, but we'll see. But that's pretty much it. Thanks, everyone. I'll see you guys soon.